Hey everybody, it's Jet Girl here, and we're going to be talking about guitar scale length. Scale length is essentially the distance from the nut of the guitar to the bridge of the guitar. However, some guitars have saddles that are adjustable so that the strings can get intonated correctly. And so if you look at this saddle here, you can see that they're not even, which makes it a little hard for measuring. So in order to get a better estimation, you can measure from the nut to the 12th fret. And then with that measurement, you multiply it by 2, and then you have your scale length. Fender Jaguars are known to be short scale guitars, so if we look at the measurements for them, they should be about 24, which is your normal length for most short scale guitars. If we look at the Gibson SG here, we'll see that the scale length is about 24.75 inches. And if we look at the Fender Stratocaster, we will see that it's about a 25.5 inch scale length. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter? And let me tell you, the scale length on a guitar can actually affect quite a few different factors on your guitar, and one of those is the tone. If your guitar has a longer scale length, that means that it will need more tension when it comes to tuning the strings versus a short scale guitar. Because of the higher tension on the longer scale lengths, the overall tone is a lot more bright and snappy when it comes to the highs, and then it has a very consistent low sound because there's not as much wiggle room when it comes to the strings. Because short scale guitars have less tension, they tend to have a lot more wiggle room with the strings, giving them more of a fuller tone almost, and kind of a thicker tone. I actually have a Jackson Minion, which is a children's guitar, and this one has a scale length of about 22 inches. And if you haven't guessed already, since it's even shorter than a short scale guitar, it has quite a bit more of a muddier tone overall. Overall, scale length is just kind of dependent on what you personally want. I know a lot of people will say if you've got tiny hands, you should get a short scale, but as a tiny hand owner, I actually have a preference for longer scale guitars because usually I am playing a Telecaster. Let me know down in the comments what kind of scale length you prefer for your guitar. And if you haven't noticed already, my Fender Stratocaster happens to be missing a string. And if you keep an eye out for the next video, I will be putting strings on it. Thanks for watching!